Plato, Philosophy of Good and Bad. Introduction. Plato, a towering figure in ancient Greek philosophy, dedicated a significant portion of his philosophical inquiry to the nature of goodness and badness. His exploration is embedded in his dialogues, where he engages in conversations with his teachers, Socrates, and other interlocutors. For Plato, the concepts of good and bad are to mere relativistic judgment, but are deeply anchored in his theory of forms, which serves as the bedrock of his metaphysical and ethical philosophy. The word of forms. At the heart of Plato's philosophy lies the theory of forms. Plato contended that the material world perceived through the senses is transient, imperfect, and ever-changing. In contrast, the world of forms or ideas is eternal, unchanging, and represents the true reality. The form of the good, according to Plato, is the highest and the most fundamental of these forms. It is source of all other forms and imparts intelligibility and order to the world. The form of the good. In Plato's dialogues, The Republic, Socrates introduced the allegory of the sun to explain the nature of the form of the good. The sun is the source of illumination, allowing us to see and understand the world around us. Similarly, the form of the good is the source of truth and knowledge, casting its light upon the other forms and making them knowledgeable. It is the ultimate standard which all other things are measured and evaluated. Intrinsic connection between good and reality. Plato argues that the closer something participates in the form of the good, the more real and consequently the better it is. The material world is a realm of shadows and illusion, and true reality is found in a world of forms. Therefore, the good is intimately connected with reality, and the pursuit of goodness involves transcending the illusionary aspect of the material world and seeking and a deeper, more fundamental reality. Ethical implementation of the form of the good. Plato extends the metaphysical implication of the form of the good to the realm of ethics. In the Republic, he introduced the concept of the philosopher-king, an individual who has knowledge of the form of the good and therefore possesses the wisdom to govern justly. Plato contends that a society is one in which rules are guided by the knowledge of the good, ensuring that their decisions aligned with the ultimate standard of goodness. Hierarchy of goods. Plato establishes a hierarchy of goods based on their proximity to the form of the good. Physical objects and sensory pleasures, being part of the mutable and deceptive material world, are considered lower on the hierarchy. Intellectuals and moral virtues, on the other hand, are higher goods because they participate more closely in the realm of forms. The ultimate goal for individuals, according to Plato, is to ascend the hierarchy of goods through intellectual and moral development, ultimately reaching an understanding of the form of the good. Challenges and critiques. Plato's theory of form and his connection between the good and reality faced considerable critique. Criticism argues that the notion of the otherworldly realm of form is speculative and lacks empirical evidence. Additionally, the idea of a philosopher-king ruling based on knowledge of the good has been criticized as impractical and potentially authoritarian. Furthermore, the question of how individuals gain knowledge of the form and the good remains a point of contention among scholars. Legacy and influence. Despite the challenges to his theory, Plato's ideas about the good have a profound and lasting impact on Western philosophy. His exploration of absolute standard of goodness and the pursuit of a higher reality has influenced subsequent philosophical tradition, including Neoplatonism and Christian philosophy. Plato's emphasis on the transcendent nature of good has resonated through the centuries, shaping discussion of ethics, metaphysics, and the nature of reality. Conclusion. In conclusion, Plato's philosophy of good and bad is intricately woven into this broader metaphysical framework, centering on the theory of forms and the primacy of the form of good. For Plato, the pursuit of goodness involves transcending the illusion of the material world and striving for a deeper understanding of ultimate reality. While his ideas have faced criticism, the enduring legacy of Plato's exploration of good continues to stimulate philosophical inquiry and inspire reflection on the nature of morality and the purpose of human existence.